What if I told you one of the most terrifying serial killers in history once worked at a hardware store and looked like someone you'd ask for directions? In the mid-1980s, residents across California started noticing something strange. People were disappearing. Not from one city, not from one neighborhood, from everywhere. Young women, teenagers, people walking home, people getting into their cars. The disappearances seemed random. Police couldn't connect them. But behind the scenes, a man named Rodney Alcala was living a double life that would shock the entire country. Because Alcala didn't just blend into society, he appeared on national television. In 1978, he became a contestant on the popular show The Dating Game. Millions of viewers watched as a cheerful young woman asked him questions from behind a wall. He joked, he flirted, he sounded charming. At the end of the episode, she chose him as the winner, Bachelor number 1. The audience clapped, but after the show ended, something strange happened. The woman later refused to go on the date. She told producers she found him creepy, unsettling, like something about him felt wrong. At the time, no one knew how important that instinct was. Because while Alcala smiled on TV, investigators would later discover something horrifying. For years, he had been luring victims by pretending to be a photographer. He'd approach women in parks, malls, or beaches. Then he'd say something simple. "Hey, I'm a photographer. Want to pose for some pictures?" Many said yes. He carried a camera. He seemed artistic. Safe. Some victims were last seen walking away with him to a photo location. But those photos weren't for magazines. When police eventually searched his belongings, they discovered thousands of photographs, boxes full of them. Women, children, strangers. Many of the people in the photos have never been identified. Even today, investigators believe some of them may have been victims, and the deeper they looked into Alcala's past, the more disturbing it became. He had been arrested before, multiple times, yet somehow he kept slipping through the cracks. Moving cities, changing jobs, starting over. For years, the pattern continued. Disappearances, bodies discovered, then more disappearances. But the break in the case finally came in 1979. A young girl was found murdered in California. Investigators linked the crime to Alcala through physical evidence. When they searched his storage locker, they found the photographs. Thousands of silent clues, faces staring back at them. Some smiling, some confused, some clearly uncomfortable. Police released many of those photos to the public decades later, hoping someone might recognize the people in them. Because even now, some of the stories behind those pictures remain unsolved. Rodney Alcala was eventually convicted of multiple murders, but investigators believe the real number of victims could be far higher. Some estimates suggest dozens, possibly more. And the strangest part of the entire case? For a brief moment in 1978, one of America's most disturbing killers sat under bright studio lights, joking with a crowd, competing for a date. While millions of people watched from home, having absolutely no idea who he really was. Which raises a chilling thought. Sometimes the most dangerous person in the room is the one smiling the most.